Don't be scared to start from scratch. Don't be scared of going back to the drawing board and starting all over again. I've failed so many times that I can't even count, but I know I'd rather start from scratch than just give up. You have to be crazy to think that you're not gonna fail over and over again until you get it. You're gonna have to learn from those mistakes. You're gonna have to learn from the screw-ups, the mess-ups, but it's okay, because we keep moving forward. You have to understand that failing is a part of life. Without failure, there is no growth. You're never gonna grow if you don't fail beforehand. Now, I've touched on something similar to this in a video called regression is a part of progression. I don't want to repeat some of the things I mentioned in that video, but I will say this. Sometimes it's deeper than just taking one step back. Sometimes you will have to go back to the start and just start again. In our own ways, we feel invincible, super even. We have to remind ourselves we're not Superman. Your journey isn't going to be completed on the first try. There's always going to be some sort of hurdle. There's always going to be some sort of twist and turn that might stray us from the path. But you'll always get back on it as long as you keep moving forward. If you're too scared of failing, how can you truly try something? Many people have the mindset of, I can't fail what I'm doing. I can't afford to fail. And this is such a good mindset, but the only fault is that there is a possibility of failure. That isn't something you should necessarily be scared about. You should be ready. You should be ready to say, you know what, if that's the case and I fail, we go again. We go harder next time. Now, it is quite hard to balance because in one sense, I'm not telling you to do things to fail. No. You still want to try and succeed, but at the same time, realize and accept the fact that there is a chance of failure, and that is okay, because failure comes with so many chances for us to restart and get back on the horse. I'd be lying if I said I can always maintain my focus. There are moments when I get distracted. There are moments when I lose my focus, lose my footing, and that's because I'm human. I'm not a machine. I'm a man. In times when we lose our focus, that doesn't mean we're not tunnel visioned, and that doesn't mean everything's just gone to shit all of a sudden. Your mindset is so important in how you look on things. It can be as simple as a diet. One person might have an off day where on their diet, they're just falling down on all the sweet foods they'd be missing. They're falling down on their cravings. Where instead they could acknowledge that they've had a bad day and that it is not over, because one bad day doesn't really define who they are. It doesn't define who you are. Abandon the mindset of it's going bad, so we might as well make it worse. That never really made sense to me. If I'm having a bad day, if I'm even on a bad streak without me doing it intentionally, I know that I'm going to struggle to get back to it. Even if I'm crawling to it, to get back to a fraction of where I was before, to me, at least I'm not just giving up on how far I've already come. To give an example of this, to create that sort of image inside of your head, I would say when I was trying to get on the 5Ks, when I was trying to run 5 km, 3 miles, all right, when I first was trying to do that, I remember in the early days, whenever I would run, I would get shin splints. My legs would be busted up and I would literally feel like I was dying, and I wasn't understanding, why is this not getting any easier? But I made sure every run I didn't stop to walk, and every run I finished it, no matter how embarrassing the time was. Because even I knew back then that a bad session was better than no session. And I can't remember where I heard that, but I've been saying that saying for a long time. When my girl was doing her karate lessons and she weren't really trying to go because she's a black belt and whatever, that's not obviously the reason, but I would say, listen babe, you have to remember, a bad session is better than no session. Showing up will always be better than giving up, because at least you're trying. At least you can walk away from something and said, you know what, I gave that 100%, all of my effort, and you will not feel disappointed after. You'll feel good, because you can come back tomorrow, you can come back the next day, no matter how long it will take, you'll be back. So I'm telling you to stop thinking that your life is like Jenga, and when one piece moves, it all tumbles down. I need you to refocus again. I need you to rebuild yourself. There comes a time when you're gonna feel truly broken. You're gonna be feeling like, why me? You're gonna be feeling that life is winning. When that time comes, nobody's gonna pick you up except yourself. And more than likely, you're gonna have to do that over and over again. And the key word is again. Because more than once you'll fail. And more than once you'll need to go back to the drawing board and start again. And that is okay. You have to remember that you are not a quitter. You didn't make it this far by just simply rolling over and laying still. You've made it this far. You've passed hurdles. You passed obstacles people don't even know about. Stuff that I don't even know about. It's just important to remind yourself that, because sometimes it's easy to forget the progress we make. Sometimes we are blind to it. Restart, refocus, rebuild again. Restart, refocus, rebuild again. Restart, refocus, rebuild again. Doesn't that sound a lot better than quitting? None of us signed up for this life. None of us signed up for all the hardships, all the struggles, and the pain we go through. But we are in this fight. We have to fight. And what it comes down to is your mind. When you can conquer your mind, you'll be okay. Don't be afraid of failing, because you're only gonna learn. Don't be afraid of going back to the drawing board, because your story doesn't end here. So stop soaking and get your ass back up, because we got work to do. My God.